Hi gang, Rob here. It is the morning of 14 June 2021. A gorgeous Monday morning in Northeast Indiana. Looks like it's going to be a beautiful day. Coming to you today with a Rendezvous Roundup video. Yes, this past weekend, Friday the 11th through Saturday the 12th of June, was the annual Great Eastern Cutlery Roundup in Titusville, Pennsylvania. A couple months earlier than normal, I think Mr. Howard wanted to get that thing in as early as possible this summer, just in case, some wacky governor decided to lock down the state again. So we didn't have our normal second or third week in August date coinciding with the oil festival in Titusville. But it was kind of good because I think it rains a little less there in June. It might be a little less hot, so it was a beautiful weekend. I wanted to show you today my haul. My roundup of knives that I purchased at this year's roundup. Some of them rare and beautiful, some of them not so rare, but knives that I didn't have, and some of them I purchased just to share with you guys. And if you watched my Saturday price drop video, I also offered those 3 knives that I purchased to resell to you guys, and you snapped them up rather quickly. So thanks for that, and I hope you enjoy them. I think I bought them right, and I sold them for a little less than market value. So just wanted to share in the Rendezvous wealth with those of you who couldn't make it. Let's see, the picnic was later than usual. We did a 4 o'clock picnic this year, which was pretty cool. Gave us more time on Saturday to hang out at the factory. And Bill has condensed the rendezvous down into 2 days instead of 3. So it begins Friday instead of Thursday, but it goes later in the day on Saturday with that later picnic. It worked out very, very well. It was well attended, maybe the biggest rendezvous ever. It sure looked like it. So yeah, it was just awesome. So before I bore you any further with my narrative and having to look at my ugly face, let's get downstairs and look at the knives. Here they are. All right, guys, time to show you the knives. First of all, though, here is the 2021 Rendezvous button that all attendees were given. Pretty cool. Got the GEC shield in the middle, and then 2021 Knife Rendezvous, Titusville, PA. Pretty cool. Okay, first let's go with the knives I bought to share with you guys. The first one comes in the rather longish tube. Very interesting knife. So this is a number 97 Allegheny. So model number 97 or pattern number 97. Blade style number 6, which is the saber ground clip point. Single blade. And these components were made in 2019, but it's kind of interesting. The tube label says it is a special factory assembly knife. So this knife was put together after the run of knives were done. I think these were actually intended for the 2020 Rendezvous because they've been around a while, and I'll show you why I know that. Here's the knife. It is in stunning Gabon ebony with cloud shield, polished bolsters and end caps, double line bolsters, stunning Coke bottle, and then look at this blade, guys. Oh, there's a lot of machining and polishing that go into that. Cut swedge, long pull with a forward nail nick, and then a saber grind on what I think is full 1/8 inch stock. And then look at the edge. It says 2019 Special Assembly. Let's see if I can get you a good shot of that where it's not reflecting too badly. There you go. Now this knife has good walk and talk for a 97. That was sort of the hit on this knife, is that the pull was a little light, but it makes a nice thunk, I think. This one I purchased for my buddy Peter, one of my motorcycle cohorts here in Fort Wayne. He wanted a long clip point, and he likes the 97, and there were several to choose from. Now this is interesting, I think. Not only is it special because it has the special factory assembly tube label, but look at the cap again. One of three that have that special assembly etch and that tube label. And then this is a store-only knife. I think I found out why. Those of you who know that store-only knives have Easter eggs, little defects that make them unique. Still perfectly functional knives, but with a cosmetic defect that makes Mr. Howard say, nope, I'm not taking that to a dealer. That's staying here. And I think I found out why, and I'm not sure if I can even get the camera to pick it up. Right above my thumbnail, on the flat between the long pole and the saber grind, there's a tiny little pit that's been polished, but it's still visible. That, I think, is what makes it store only. So, one of three. How about one of one? That's for Peter. Next up, a very recent run of Untitled Cutlery Barlows, a number 15 good as gold Barlow. This one truly good as gold because it comes with the rose gold acrylic covers. Check that stunner. So this was purchased to resell and it sold on Saturday. All steel construction, the TC engraving, spear point blade with the good as gold etch. So that one is on its way to a new home. And then here's a knife I actually bought as a keeper, but then I bought a couple that I liked more, so it got sold Saturday. It is a Northfield knife, number 29 Stackyard Whittler in Snakewood. And they had a couple of these, and I picked the one with the best looking wood. So the 29 pattern is a 3-blade, 2-spring Whittler. Okay, so you got, actually it's a 3-spring Whittler. I'm sorry, that's what makes it, in my mind, not a Whittler. So main clip, cut swedge long pull, and then secondary sheep's foot, nice and long, and then a punch. Lined and pinched bolsters, cloud shield, gorgeous snakewood. This is a store only, so it makes it unique, and I think I found why. There is just a little tiny, right above the shield, a little piece of open grain, just a little bit of character in the wood. Would I call that a cosmetic defect? No, I would call that character, a little beauty mark that God put in that piece of wood. This one's on its way to a new home. Next up, and my last knife I purchased to resell, another one from Northfield. That's the same tube. Oh, it is another one from Northfield. It is a number 47 Viper in Sandbar Stag from the 2020 run. And here's that knife. It's not the most beautiful stag I've ever seen, but it's pretty doggone nice. There is the mark side. There is the pile side. There is the match. And there's that legendary Viper Warncliffe. And this one's on its way to a new home. Now let's get to the keepers. It is a Northfield Premium Pocket Knife, the first one up. Another number 47 Viper from the 2020 run, this one in Arizona Ironwood. Look at this stunning piece of work. I'm not sure what we call that shield. I do not remember if I ever knew. So Bill does like to finish the ironwood with the satin finish, so you get the satin hardware along with it. Triple line bolsters, no end cap, it's a Viper. And it's a Northfield with a satin blade in that new style Northfield etch. So the big question is, with that big cut swedge, can you pinch it open? Yes, you can. I think the satin finish aids in that regard. A Northfield with a satin blade. You knew I had to buy it. Will I leave the bolsters and shields satin? See, I like to polish ironwood. I'll probably polish the knife. It's going to be a keeper and a user. Pretty nice. Then I found this one. I couldn't really believe that this showed up in the case. They have a habit at the Rendezvous on Saturday of finding knives they meant to put out. And if you walk in the store at the right time, you might get something like this. A 2020 run of the number 74 Mustang drop point in brown burlap micarta. Oh my Lord. Oh. I did not look to see how many of these were made. I don't think it was a very big number. Again, Bill likes to finish the burlap micarta with the matte finish, so you have satin bolsters and Federal shield. That great working blade, that Mustang drop point, satin finish with just a graceful drawn swedge. If I didn't love this pattern so much, and you know I do, I'd probably sell it, but it'd be for a lot of money. It is a beautiful example too. And then speaking of knives that got found on Saturday, we got this. This is the second most special knife I bought. You ready? A special factory assembly titty-ute of the number 62 pocket carver, the number 620320 in goldenrod camel bone, one of 10. Now they made this knife with these covers with a banana shield, and they made a bunch of them, but that's not this. You won't believe this, guys. I've never seen one. I think they've done it before. It's got a bar shield, not a hot dog, and it is the 62 Congress pattern with a catch bit Whittler blade set, main Wharncliffe, and then two secondary Wharncliffes without a split back. So two springs, one each run in the secondaries, and they both run the main, but it's got a catch bit. So no center liner except the catch bit, which keeps things sorted out in the back end of the knife. So what's special, you ask? Well, this. There's the mark side, and there's the pile side. Yes, your eyes are not deceiving you. It's double shielded. So probably what happened is somebody set up the machine that mills the pocket for the shields, and they set it up to mill the wrong side. Or maybe they're totally symmetrical. Maybe they had extra milled covers and no plain covers, and they assembled these 10 knives with double shields, and I got one of them, and there's that camel bone. Oh yeah, oh yeah. I kind of like it. Okay, next, and the last knife we have, of course, you know what it is, guys. It's the 2021 Rendezvous knife. I've never been able to guess. Nobody has. I mean, I talked to everybody every year. Nobody ever guesses the Rendezvous knife correctly, and they are bank vault quiet about it until it drops. You can't get it out of anybody. I mean, nobody. I think if you're a GEC employee and you tell anybody what the Rendezvous knife is, you're instantly terminated. Nobody ever has, so we don't know. You're not going to believe this year's. You're not going to believe it. Not going to believe it. It is a number 380321 in burnt orange jigged bone, and I always get number 34. The reason for that, if I can, and so far it's been available every year by the time I got there. This year, my buddy Steve Conti, my cousin Vinny, did me a solid. He grabbed 34 for me. He got in the door quicker than I did, and thank you, Steve. Thank you, William, and thanks for nothing, Patti. I'm not giving that guy any special treatment. But I got it. So what is it? Yes, it's the 2020 run, the knife that was never going to be made again, of the 38 split back Whittler with the Wharncliffe main. Here's the button that came along with it. Because this year's Rendezvous celebrates 15 years of the existence of Great Eastern Cutlery, we have that 15 logo in the center of the button, and check it out, guys. Oh, are you kidding me? Look at that 15 shield. Doesn't that look awesome? I got a deep burnt orange set of covers. I mean, it is deeply colored. It's beautiful. And then you got that Warney main. Oh, 2021 GEC Annual Rendezvous, 15 years. The best Cam Tang walk and talk ever. Great job, Randy. Yep, and one of 59, 57 in circulation. GEC keeps the #1 knife in a mahogany case with a velvet lining that goes on display. I'm not sure where #2 goes. It may go in Bill's personal collection. I can't remember. So 57 were available. I got number 34. Why 34, you ask? 2 reasons. First of all, I had 2 football heroes growing up. One was Dick Butkus. When I was a young lad, I used to wear my Bears number 51 jersey every Sunday watching the Bears play. And then as an older young man, through my teenage years, sweetness, perhaps the greatest football player to ever live, Walter Payton, number 34. And then, some of you know, many of you know, that I am a recovered alcoholic. I got sober at age 23, and my most significant AA sponsor and my best friend until he left us in 2000 was Denny Lamont. And he was a heart transplant patient. He got his new heart just about a year after he got sober. And we have a very good transplant hospital here in Fort Wayne. And Denny was the 34th heart transplanted at Lutheran Hospital in Fort Wayne. And he made his mark instead of his signature on most documents for the rest of his life. Signed him 34 with a heart around it. So that's why 34. Well, I hope you enjoyed the little show and tell today, guys. I'm going to kick you back to the office camera for the wrap up, and you'll want to stick around for that because I got something special. I got an inside, well, sort of an inside piece of information you're going to want to see. So check it out. Yeah, pretty nice bunch of stuff, huh? I thought so. One thing I didn't get one of this year was I didn't buy a knife that had that etch on it. Let's see if I can get that to focus for you. There. I did not buy a knife that had the TRIPLE-P etch this year, but I did do a little bit of investigation into the mystery of the PPP etch on Great Eastern Cutlery knives. I did happen to, at the picnic, pull aside a couple GEC employees, Rose, who handled the traffic in and out of the GEC store this weekend at the Rendezvous, and Patti, the sort of jack of all trades sweetheart of GEC. She used to sharpen each production knife back in the day before she developed a little bit of arthritis in her fingers, and now I think she's just sort of like an expert floater. But she always mans the store during Rendezvous weekend, so we all get to spend some time with her. What a delight she is. But I think between Rose and Patti, we might have gotten to the bottom of the TRIPLE-P etch. So here is that video clip right now.
No.
Here at the 2021 Great Eastern Cutlery Rendezvous with
Me
Rose and Patti. Rose, the ticket queen, and Patti, well, you know Patti.
Don't go
I
there.
wanted to get your take on something that's going around like a virus on social media. Because, for years people have thought that the PPPH was for Pattern Production Premier, but it appears that the GEC community has uncovered a truth. Is it true? Do either of you have comment that really stands for Patti's Potato Peelers?
It does not.
And if so, who's this Patti? Could it be you?
She's non-existent.
She's non-existent. Rose, do you know anything about this?
I know nothing.
Rose knows nothing. Apparently we're not going to get to the truth today.
Pattern Production Premier.
Patti's Potato Peelers. Well, I tried, guys. I tried. I thought maybe if I, got them off to the side and, maybe put them on the spot, they'd spill the beans, but Patti denies everything. She denies everything. I don't know what to, maybe it really does stand for Pattern Production Premier, but I just happen to prefer Patti's Potato Peelers. Oh, she gets so easily embarrassed, doesn't she? If you guys have never been to a rendezvous, man, you just need to go. I'm not sure that there's a gathering in the knife world that has as rich a fellowship among collectors as the Great Eastern Cutlery Roundup does. There is no more welcoming, accommodating set of ownership, management, and staff when customers show up to hang out for a weekend than the GEC gang. It truly is a family operation. It was great to see William Howard back this year. I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but he spent more than a year barely able to work with some horrendous back issues. He seems to have gotten a program of physical therapy that works for him, and he's back at it, and he seems enthusiastic and glad to be there. Another cool thing, his wife Gretchen and their two boys, Ori and Cooper, were around quite a bit this weekend, and as it happens, Ori, the older son who's about to turn 7, well, he has an after-school program now, and that is punching the clock at Great Eastern Cutlery. Yeah, Ori has his own time card, and he comes in after school most days and hangs out with Grandpa, makes him chase him around, keeps Bill young. It's pretty cool. Those boys are into it, and Ori, by the way, a fantastic fisherman. Pretty sure he's kind of self-sufficient at age 6. Heck of a caster. I think he needs a little help taking the fish off the hook, though. But other than that, he's dialed in, and it's pretty neat to watch the 3rd generation of Great Eastern Cutlery develop. We can just pray that they develop a passion for knives, can't we? Because we want that legacy to continue as long as possible. I think that's about it from the Roundup. Oh, one thing I will say, again, regarding the grandsons. Most of us who know or have ever met Bill Howard know he's kind of a stoic guy. He takes himself very seriously. It's hard to crack through the shell and find the sense of humor, but it's there. But we wouldn't normally think of Bill as being an overly emotional guy until those grandsons are around, and then everything changes. He is a doting, loving grandpa, and it's so cool to watch. I think that's about it for the Rendezvous Roundup 2021. Hope you enjoyed it. Grace to you and peace, my friends, from God our Father and the Lord Jesus Christ. Remember, the word is sharp. Talk to you soon.